Generational curses are believed to be negative patterns or behaviors inherited by successive generations as a result of the actions or choices of their ancestors. These curses can impact various aspects of one's life, including physical health, mental well-being, relationships, and financial stability. The significance of generational curses lies in the belief that they can create negative cycles that repeat from one generation to another. It is thought that unresolved issues, traumas, or sins committed by previous generations can have a lingering effect on their descendants. This can manifest as recurring problems, struggles, or hardships that seem to persist despite individual efforts to overcome them. The concept of generational curses weaves a complex and often misunderstood narrative. This notion, deeply rooted in various cultural and spiritual traditions, posits that the actions, emotions, and spiritual imbalances of our ancestors can ripple through time, impacting successive generations. Particularly, this idea finds an intriguing intersection with the concepts of karma and sins, suggesting a continuity of spiritual consequences beyond the individual's lifespan. Generational curses are often described as the transmission of negative energies, behaviors, and consequences from one generation to the next. This transmission is not merely a repetition of actions, but is thought to be a deeper, more profound movement of spiritual energies. These energies, imbued with the emotional and moral qualities of our actions, like anger, hatred, resentment, and vengeance, are believed to have the potential to transcend the immediate realm of their occurrence and affect future generations. The relationship between generational curses and the ideas of karma and sins is particularly fascinating. Karma, a concept central to several Eastern religions, is the principle that every action has a reaction, that every deed echoes throughout the universe and shapes one's future. Sins are considered moral transgressions against divine law. Both concepts, in their essence, speak to the consequences of our actions, not just in our own lives, but potentially in the lives of those who follow. Take, for instance, the scenario where an ancestor harbors a profound grudge, seething with hatred and malice. This intense negativity, steeped in strong spiritual energy, is not just a personal experience, but is seen as capable of imprinting itself onto the spiritual fabric of the family lineage. Consider, for instance, an ancestor who becomes the target of a curse or a spiritual attack. This unfortunate event is not merely a singular occurrence affecting only that individual. According to the theory of generational curses, the spiritual equilibrium of this person is profoundly disturbed, creating ripples that extend far beyond their own spiritual realm. This disruption, steeped in negative energy, can become a legacy passed down through the lineage, unknowingly inherited by descendants. The mechanism of this transmission is often envisioned as a tainting of the spiritual energy that binds a family lineage. This tainted energy, now carrying the echoes of the original curse or attack, manifests in various forms in the lives of the descendants. It could appear as unexplained fears, a predisposition toward certain negative emotions, or even a tendency to find themselves in adverse situations, seemingly without cause. For example, a family might find that across generations, family members consistently struggle with unexplained anxiety or a pervasive sense of dread. These emotions could be the distant echoes of a spiritual attack endured by an ancestor, a curse that had irreparably altered their spiritual essence. This alteration, like a flawed gene, is then unwittingly passed down, embedding itself in the spiritual DNA of the family. Furthermore, this spiritual imbalance is not a static legacy. It can evolve, manifesting differently in each generation, shaped by their individual experiences and choices. As each generation faces its own challenges, the original imbalance can be compounded, creating a complex web of spiritual dysfunction that becomes increasingly difficult to identify and address. However, The concept of generational curses also carries with it the potential for healing and liberation. Recognizing and understanding these deep-seated spiritual imbalances is the first step towards addressing them. This process often requires a combination of spiritual insight, psychological understanding, and a willingness to confront and heal old wounds, both known and unknown. A generational curse is vividly illustrated in various religious texts. Even in the Bible, there is the notion that the sins of the fathers can be visited upon the children to the third and fourth generation. This idea suggests a spiritual interconnectedness and a form of legacy that transcends material inheritance. It implies that our actions and spiritual state have far-reaching implications, extending far beyond our immediate perception. However, the narrative of generational curses is not one of inevitable doom. Many spiritual traditions also speak of redemption and healing. The key lies in awareness and conscious action. By recognizing these deep-seated patterns and their origins, individuals can seek to address and heal them. This healing may take various forms, including spiritual practices and a conscious effort to break away from negative patterns. For instance, if an individual identifies a recurring pattern of fear or anger in their family, acknowledging it can be the first step towards transformation. Spiritual practices such as meditation or prayer can be tools for understanding and dissipating these negative energies. The realm of mystical practices is vast and variegated, encompassing a plethora of rituals and spells that have been crafted to counteract the effects of generational curses. These practices, which often draw upon ancient wisdom and esoteric knowledge, offer a window into the human desire to reclaim power over unseen negative forces believed to be inherited from one's lineage. The core intention behind these mystical practices is to create a disruption in the flow of negative energy, to sever the invisible cords that tie individuals to the adverse fates of their forebears. These rituals and spells are not merely symbolic gestures. For many, they are potent acts of spiritual healing and transformation. Rituals are typically composed of successive symbolic actions, each rich with significance. Ancient sages, attuned to the subtleties of the spiritual realm, discerned that certain aromas, like that of sandalwood, have the capacity to elevate our energies. They recognize that this sacred scent has the power to awaken the dormant spiritual forces within us, channeling them from the lower centers of our being to the higher, more enlightened states. Initiating a ritual often involves the purification of one's environment with such incense, a practice believed to dispel any lingering negative energies. Subsequent to this purification, the practitioner commonly delineates a protective circle. This ceremonial boundary is not merely physical, but a profound shield, safeguarding the individual from intrusive spiritual energies from the outer world. The core of the ritual may involve the invocation of higher powers or deities, requesting their assistance in breaking the generational curse. These invocations are often accompanied by offerings, which could range from simple candles and incense to more specific items that hold personal or traditional significance. The practice of anointing oneself with oils, the use of crystals, and the recitation of mantras or affirmations are also common, each element selected for its purported ability to influence spiritual energies. The practice of listening to mantras presents a compelling method for individuals seeking to alleviate the burdens of generational curses. These sacred utterances are believed to possess the intrinsic power to dispel layers of inherited negativity. It is not an instantaneous remedy. Rather, the gradual process of neutralizing these deep-rooted negative energies demands perseverance and a sustained commitment to spiritual practices. To effectively overwrite the legacies of the past, one must engage in a conscientious effort to abstain from negative actions and thoughts, fostering a reservoir of positive merits. Over time, this accumulation of good deeds and intentions has the potential to eclipse the historical patterns of negativity, offering a path to spiritual liberation and renewal. If you think you're dealing with a generational curse, Try sticking to a spiritual routine for at least 3 months straight. You might start to notice a real difference. Pay attention to how you're feeling inside and make time for some quiet meditation both before you go to bed and right when you wake up. It will change your spiritual energy within. Listening to special chants or mantras can also be a big help. Incorporating special items such as amulets into your daily life can serve as a powerful catalyst in the quest to fortify oneself against the lingering effects of generational curses. These objects are more than mere trinkets. They are conduits of positive spiritual energy, carefully crafted and often blessed with the intent to protect and enhance one's spiritual well-being. Just as a magnet attracts iron filings, these amulets are believed to attract and accumulate benevolent forces, creating an aura of positivity that repels negative influences. Engaging with these sacred objects can be likened to embarking on a rigorous spiritual regimen. By integrating them into your routine, much like a dedicated athlete adheres to a training program, you gradually build up your spiritual resilience. With each passing day, the diligent harnessing of this good energy can lead to a palpable transformation, illuminating the path through overcoming the shadows cast by generational curses. It is a profound process of reclaiming your spiritual sovereignty, empowering you to break free from the chains of the past and to bask in the light of renewed energy and hope. Leave a comment below if you think your family might be dealing with a generational curse. Have you noticed any problems that keep happening in your family over and over again? If you've tried anything to stop these patterns, or if you're just starting to think about it, we'd love to hear your story. Sharing your experience can help others who might be going through the same thing. If you found our discussion on generational curses intriguing and helpful, don't miss out on what else we have to offer. Subscribe to our channel for more fascinating topics like this. We're all about exploring deep and meaningful subjects, and we provide guidance and insights on each one. Join our community to keep learning and growing together.